This is the bedtime story, Goldie and the Cave Bears, inspired by the writing of Sharon Blackie. Once upon a time, there was a village near the forest, and in the village lived a girl by the name of Goldie. And from the time she was very small, Goldie talked to anyone who would listen about going into the woods to find the cave where the bears lived. "Oh no," they said, "Goldie, you can't go. The bears would eat you, don't you know?" And Goldie said, "No, the bears would be my friends." But Goldie was small, but time went by and she grew. And more time went by and she grew, until the time was right for Goldie to go to meet the cave and the bears. So, one night after dinner, when everyone sat around the campfires and the sun was hanging low and golden in the sky, Goldie prepared some food for her long, long walk and told her family and her friends and her neighbors, "This is the night I'm going to find the cave where the bears live." "Don't go," they said, "the bears will eat you." "No," said Goldie, "they will become my friends." And Goldie set off. She walked down the long, dusty road that led out of the village, with the golden sun behind her and her shadow cast long before her. She walked and she walked and she walked some more. She walked and walked until she entered the woods. And she walked and walked as the sun sank lower in the sky, and the sky behind her was streaked with red and orange and purple. Goldie walked and walked some more until the sun set and the sky grew dark. The stars began to twinkle and the moon rose full and shining and beautiful. The moon was so silvery bright Goldie could see everything in the forest. She could see the trees. She could see the bats looking for bugs. She could see the owls swooping down looking for their dinner. She walked and she walked and she walked as the moon rose. By the time the moon was high overhead, Goldie was very tired, and she found a stream and sat by the stream. She had a cool drink. She ate the food she brought and rested. When the moon started to slip down the other side of the sky to follow the sun to bed, Goldie walked again. She walked and she walked and she walked some more, while the moon sank down and set, and the sky in front of her became just a little lighter. "I must be close," Goldie thought. "I must be near the cave." And she went up a small hill and through the trees, and there it was. Just as the sky was getting light, she found the cave where the bears lived. Not only that, she saw the bears. There was a papa bear carrying a big fish in his paws, and a mama bear whose paws were filled with sweet, juicy berries, and a baby bear whose one paw was dripping with beautiful, sweet, golden honey. They stared at each other. "Who are you?" said Mama Bear. "I'm Goldie," said Goldie, "and I walked all night from the village because I've always wanted to meet you bears." "Well," said Papa Bear, "please sit with us. We were about to eat." And so Goldie sat with the bears. Papa Bear said, "I'll fix you right up." And he found a nice flat stone, and on it Papa Bear put some fish. Mama Bear put some berries, and Baby Bear drizzled it with honey. Goldie ate with the bears, and she thought it was the best breakfast she ever had. She started to tell the bears about her life in the village, and the bears told her about their life in the forest. And the sun rose higher and hotter until Mama Bear said, "It's too hot, Goldie. Let's go into the shade of the cave and talk some more." And so they went inside into the shade, and Papa Bear sat on his big chair made from logs and branches, and Mama Bear sat on a big round stone covered with moss, and Baby Bear sat on, well, it was just a pile of sticks and twigs. Well, Goldie didn't want to try to climb up into Papa Bear's big chair, and she tried to sit with Mama Bear, but she kept sliding off the slippery moss onto the floor of the cave. And Baby Bear's chair looked just too pokey and itchy. Mama Bear laughed and said, "Don't worry, Goldie, we'll fix you right up." And Papa Bear rolled a stone out from the back of the cave that was just the right size, and put some branches and sticks for arms and a back, and Mama Bear used some leaves and moss to make a cushion on the stone for Goldie to sit on. And there she sat, talking to the bears. "Well," said Papa Bear, "I can show you where to catch the very best and biggest fish." "Yes," said Mama Bear, "and I can show you where all the berry bushes grow." And Baby Bear danced around, happy, never had seen a human before, and he was showing off. "Well, I can show you where acorns are, I can show you where to find mushrooms, and I can climb to the tops of trees, and I can get honey." And everyone laughed at Baby Bear dancing around. "That would be wonderful," Goldie said. "I would love to see that, and I would love to find the berries and the fish." "Well," Papa Bear said, "then you must come back." "Yes," Baby Bear said, "please come back." "Well," Goldie said, "I will, I promise. And let me tell you, in the village, we don't just find our food. We grow food." "Whatever do you mean?" said Mama Bear. "Well," said Goldie, "we plant seeds. And when we plant seeds, we can grow corn and beans and squash and all kinds of good things." "I never heard of that," said Papa Bear. "Well," Goldie said, "and then we make things out of that food. We make bread and pies and, well, I'll just have to bring you treats." "Yes, yes," said Baby Bear. "I love new food." And again, everyone laughed. And they talked and they talked and they talked until finally Mama Bear looked up and said, "Goldie, the sun is setting. It's too late for you to go back now." "I know," said Goldie. "I walked all night and talked all day. I have to sleep." "Well," said Papa Bear, "the cave is nice and big. You can spend the night with us." And they moved back even farther in the cave, where Papa Bear had a bed that was really just a big slab of stone, and Mama Bear had a pile of branches and sticks that she laid on, and Baby Bear had a big pile of fur that he saved from every time the bears shed. Well, Goldie looked at Papa Bear's bed and thought, "Oh, I could never sleep on cold stone." And Mama Bear's bed looked as itchy and pokey as Baby Bear's seat had looked. So she looked at Baby Bear's bed and lay down on the soft fur, but oh, it was so hot. "Don't worry, Goldie," Mama Bear said. "We'll fix you right up." And Mama Bear used some leaves and some moss and just a little bit of Baby Bear's fur stash, and made a nice soft place in between Mama Bear and Baby Bear for Goldie to lie down and sleep. And just as Goldie was falling asleep, she thought, "Isn't this amazing? The bears understand me, and I understand them." And Goldie fell asleep with a big smile on her face. And the bears were tired too, and they fell asleep right away. They all slept so hard nobody noticed when the sun started to come up until the birds started singing. And then Papa Bear jumped up and said, "Come on, everyone. We need to go get our food for the day." So everyone got up and rubbed the sleep from their eyes and followed Papa Bear out of the cave and down through the trees and down the hill to the stream, where he stood very still on the bank of the stream. And then, quick like a cat, he snatched a fish right out of the water. "I would love to do that," said Goldie, "but I don't have any claws." "It's all right," said Papa Bear. "You have two perfectly good hands, and I can still show you how to catch a fish with those." "Oh, that would be wonderful," Goldie said. Then Mama Bear said, "Come now, let me show you where the bushes with the berries are." So Mama Bear led them down and around through the trees to where all the berries grew. Goldie had never seen so many different kinds of berries. Golden berries and red berries, blackberries, all kinds of berries. And Mama Bear waded right into those prickly bushes and brought out pawfuls of sweet, juicy berries that she dropped into the skirt of Goldie's dress to carry back plenty to the cave. By now, Baby Bear was getting, well, impatient, and he tugged on Goldie's arm and said, "Come on, come on, I want to show you what I can do." And so they all followed Baby Bear, and he found a very slender, very tall tree, and he shimmied up that tree and went to the very top where there was a beehive. And he stuck his little paw into that hive, and he got out a little chunk of honeycomb with some honey. Well, the bees were very angry, and they buzzed around him, but because he had such thick fur, they couldn't sting him. So he shimmied back down the tree with his little prize and said, "It's okay, Goldie, I didn't wreck their hive. They'll build it back up again soon enough." And they all walked back together to the cave, talking and laughing the whole way. They sat and ate together again like they had the day before. And then Mama Bear got a big pawful of berries for Goldie to take with her for her long walk home. And Goldie said goodbye to the bears. She gave each one a kiss on their shiny black noses, and then she gave each bear a great big bear hug, and started off through the woods, looking over her shoulder, waving at the bears until they were out of sight. And she walked as the sun rose higher and hotter. She walked, and she was glad to be in the shade of the trees. She walked, listening to the birds and watching all the butterflies and bees, looking at the flowers and the ferns. She walked until the sun was high overhead, and then Goldie was so tired she had to rest. She found the stream again and had a cool drink. She sat by the stream and ate the berries that Mama Bear had given her, and she rested there until the sun started to sink down on the other side of the sky. Then Goldie got up and walked some more. She walked as the sun sank lower and lower. She walked until she found her way out of the forest and back onto the road to the village. And as she walked the dusty road in the golden light of the sun, with her shadow long behind her, she began to smell the cooking fires at the village, and she eventually heard laughter and talking. And then somebody spotted Goldie on the road, and some friends and family ran out to greet her. "Goldie, oh Goldie," they said, "we were so worried. We thought the bears ate you." "No," she said, "they really did become my friends." So Goldie went into the village and sat and ate her dinner with everyone she knew and loved. And then she told all about the adventures she had with the bears. "She's so brave," some said. "She's very courageous," others said. And some villagers were a little afraid of Goldie because, after all, who understands the language of the bears, and what bears can understand a human? But Goldie did keep her promise to the bears, and she went back to visit them every month when the moon was full, except for the winter when the bears were sleeping. And she brought them corn and breads and all kinds of things to eat. And the bears taught her about the language of the birds. They taught her how trees talk to each other below the ground. They taught her about medicine plants, medicine that's even good for human animals. And so all through Goldie's life, she had a wonderful friendship with the bears, and even eventually met some new bears as Baby Bear grew up. And to this very day in that village, everyone still tells the story of Goldie and the cave bears, the girl who could talk to the bears. And that is the end of the story of Goldie and the cave bears. The end. Have a sweet and restful sleep. Much love to you.